We honour the First Peoples of Australia, their unbroken ties to Aboriginal law, culture, and customs. We respect the traditional owners of the lands and waters we inhabit and acknowledge their elders past and present. We celebrate the enrichment of Aboriginal communities around Australia. We recognise the lasting impact of colonisation and dispossession. We salute those who have fought for the rights of First Peoples. Their legacy is our guiding light today and always.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, Blurtstars, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the Blurt. You are listening to the new Blurt. I'm Keely, aka the Kester. I'm coming to you from the traditional lands of the Dja Dja Jurong people. Part of the Kulin Nation, sovereignty was never ceded, always has been, and always will be Aboriginal land. It is 7:38 p.m. on a Thursday evening on the 23rd of July, and I just thought about it. It's Mick the Postie's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to him. I wonder if he gets like special letters delivered because it's his birthday, or maybe they deliver him a special birthday cake. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but anyway, when you listen to this, things may have changed, so just keep that to consideration when you listen to the pod, or you watch it on the YouTubes, as they say in the funny papers. We're going to start tonight with Blurt Around the World, and that's our segment about what's happening, obviously, around the world. It's a little bit more local tonight, but we do have a bit of stuff around the world as well. We have some stuff coming from Count Binface. Who's Count Binface? You'll find out very soon. Rise of the Subtitles. No, it's not a new Terminator 3 movie or something. It's actually talking about how more people around the world are using subtitles for their movies, etc. And it's not just because people are getting more deaf. So we'll have a little bit of a look at that. As our title says, to tax or not to tax, that is the question. That's because the Labor Party starts their conference this weekend from the 23rd today to the 25th of July. And they are going to be talking about whether or not they're going to be taxing gas. It did come up in the budget. It was passed over because they were too gutless to do anything about it. But there is a lot of people pushing for it, and we'll discuss it a little bit more. With all of that, Wencee is going to talk about the Victorian Games. The Glaswegian Com Games. That's basically giving me the bird there. Because, as you may or may not know, Victoria Com Games, they didn't have it because it's going to cost far too much, and they cut it off at the nose before the whole body grew because it was going to be very, very expensive. So with that being the case, Brisbane thought in 2032 it'd be a fantastic idea for them to spend a shitload on the Commonwealth Games instead. So let's see how that pans out. Anyway, it's a Glaswegian Commonwealth Games, so it's going to be quite interesting. And Wencee's going to be talking about that. Then after that, we're going to do Ya Self A Favour, and that is that podcast segment. We talk about things we're listening to and have listened to and recommended you listen to as well. Wencee's talking about Weirdly Helpful, and I'm talking about two podcasts actually, but one in particular. One I've talked about before, Conversations, and a new one called The Bugle. It's a satirical podcast. I'm not going to say any more than that. And then after that, we will finish off the show with Party in the USA. And tonight, it's actually some good news coming out of the US when it comes to politics. Wencee's going to be talking about Zoran Mamdani. There's some really interesting stuff that's been happening in his world in New York. And I'm going to talk about Mary Petolta, who is the Alaskan candidate for the Democratic Party in Alaska. And she did actually get the position in 2024, but she lost it again. So I think she was only in Congress for a term, but she's going for it again in 2026 against a Republican called Dan Sullivan. And she's very well liked, so there's a very good chance that she could get it. And it's for a Senate seat, so it's pretty important. With that, I think what we should do is throw to the co-hostess Where's the mostest? Wencee.
All right. I'm done with those crowds. Let's get stuck into it. Before I begin, I do want to acknowledge the Turrbal and Yuggera peoples as the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording today, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and celebrate their rich history, their storytelling, and their ongoing cultural connection, that they still hold with this land, and remind everyone that sovereignty was never ceded.
It definitely was not, my friend. I tell you, we've got a few gremlins in the old Riverside board tonight. I'm getting a few messages flash up here, so I'm going. I'm hoping he's joining me. I really am hoping that he's joining me. But it's very, very good to see you. So what's been happening since we last spoke? Apart from that's right, there was a World Cup win, wasn't there?
Yes, there was a World Cup win, and I'm glad Spain won. Spoiler alert, if those people haven't seen it in the last 4 days since it was held.
Too bad. They should have seen it by now. Exactly. That's it. They should have seen it by now. So.
Exactly. So I'm glad they beat the Argentinians, because they played dirty, and I didn't like the way they played the last few games. So good on Spain. They were the gentlemen of the two teams.
Well, our friend and friend of the show, Fat Boy, who's been on Sports of All Sorts before, quite a long time ago, but he has been on, and et cetera, et cetera. He was talking about the Argentinians. He was saying they're very racist. He said they've been publicly being racist on football, which I found really weird. I would have thought there was heaps of different, sort of culture in the Argentinian team, but obviously I'm wrong.
No, I think they're pretty much mostly not culturally mixed, not in the soccer team anyway.
Really?
I don't know what it's like in the country itself, whether there's different ethnicities. I know in Chile, who are their neighbours, where I'm from, obviously. I know there's a lot of Germans because they settled there after World War II.
Okay.
There are some Asian communities, mainly Chinese. I think there's Vietnamese, but the last time I was there weren't that many.
Oh, wow. So I didn't realise it's quite monocultural in Argentina.
Monocultural? Yes.
Yeah, monocultural. I didn't realise that. I didn't get that at all. Because when Fat Boy was telling me, I was like, oh, that's terrible. So I did a bit of reading, and I went, oh my God, what is it with these dickheads?
Yeah.
The other nice thing about Spain winning is that the orange turd didn't want them
to. Yeah, exactly. And oh God, he tried to stay in the photo frame for the celebrations, and he got shuffled off. Not quick enough, but yeah.
Such a pain in the ass.
It's just,
oh my God.
Yeah. It's like a fly around shit. It just constantly hovers around and just doesn't take the hint.
It's phenomenal. Lindsey Graham just died last week. Mitch McConnell, everyone thinks he's already dead. They think they're just dragging him around. How the hell he's not dead, I don't know. Seriously.
Bit like Weekend at Bernie's. They just bring him out and just prop him up. He's actually dead. But we need to keep the numbers, so we'll bring him in.
That's exactly right. He doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything at all.
Yeah,
no, it's very weird over there, my friend. Very weird indeed. Oh, one thing I was going to talk about, I did tell you I was going to talk about just before we get into Blurt around the world. Yeah, no, I had an unfortunate accident with beer last week, and as you know, that's sacrilegious. And I had to say 12 Hail Marys afterwards. So what happened was I had this awesome beer that I just had brought down the road, a really nice chocolate porter and another nice, really nice, and they're local ones too, and they're really, really good. And I was like, oh, these are going to be great. And I got them back, and the plastic bit that sits on top, and they're all meant to sit in them. Yeah, the two fuckers fell out, didn't they? And they pierced. They both pierced.
And did you quickly pick them up and go?
I would have loved to, but they were going everywhere, and I thought they were going to ruin my deck. And then I was like, shit. And so then I had to clean it all up and all the rest of it. And then I had to come inside and try to, so they're going down the stairs. I had to clean all that up and on the floor. And then, and I thought, well, I'll try to salvage some. So I put them in a bowl and I put them in the fridge. And I thought, well, I'll see how it is when I come back next week. So I come back the other day. I came back the other day and I had a look and I just cried. I probably had like 50 grams, 100 mil of one of them and nothing of the other. And the whole thing was in the bowl. I was just like,
damn.
So, yes,
damn.
I was.
A waste of well-made beer.
Oh, it was. It was beautiful beer too. So I was very much like this. Very much. 100%.
Yes, I can imagine. And just one other thing before we get stuck into Blurt Around the World.
Yep.
Went to see The Odyssey on the big
you
screen
did?
a couple of nights ago and loved it. Loved it. I loved it so much. I want to go and watch it in 70mm format now.
Wow.
The way it was intended.
I love Chris Nolan films. They are absolutely amazing. He is an amazing filmmaker. The thing is though, you've got to set aside half a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, because by the time the bloody stuff comes on at the start and then the movie and then you getting there, that's 4 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
that's a half working day, correct?
It is. So when did you go? Did you go by yourself or?
3 of us went on Monday night. Luke wasn't interested, but Kim and Eli definitely interested and loved it.
They loved it too?
Yeah. So I've got, once I'm off call next week, I think I'm going to go watch it again.
Nice. Fantastic.
Yeah, so highly recommended.
It sounds like something I need to do. Well, apparently it made $264 million in its first week.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Is that worldwide or is that in America?
That's a great question. Not 100% sure of that. But
yeah, I heard that fact too, but I wasn't sure where.
I was listening the other day. They said without a shadow of a doubt it will be $1 billion movie.
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah. Do you know the Mario movie was $1 billion movie?
Yeah, surprisingly.
No, crazy.
Really enjoyed
sometimes.
it.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen the Mario movie.
Yeah, but, I've seen both of them. So, yeah, definitely worth watching. But if you didn't get to see it on the cinema, it'll be just fine at the on streaming. So,
yeah, that's Jack Black, isn't it?
Jack Black, Chris Pratt from the Marvel movies and Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah. I don't like Parks and Rec much.
I loved Parks and Rec when it was on. Used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, nah, couldn't get into that. I tried and it just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. But it's the same as I can't get into the American Office. When you've watched the original, it's hard to see a fake. So But anyway, without this, so it's a few things in Blurt Around the World this week I want to talk about. And the positive news for this week is Count Binface. Because Count Binface is... just bear with me here. Count Binface is a candidate on Clacton on Sea.
Excuse me?
Yes, that's exactly right. There's a place called Clacton on Sea in England, and it is the electorate of Nigel Farage. And if you know who that dickhead is, he's the dickhead that was orchestrated as much as humanly possible Brexit and basically ruined London, or England, if you like.
England, yeah.
Anyway, he's trying to ruin England again by being their representative. But because of the fact that he got caught with a $500 million pound donation from a not anonymous source that it wasn't in any way, shape or form he could substantiate, he resigned.
Oh. 500, how much?
No, it's 5 million. 5 million pounds.
Million. Right,
5 million
okay.
pounds. 5 million pounds. He bought one of his houses out of the donation.
Seriously? Oh my God.
Yeah. That's the sort of
send him to jail.
Yeah, contemptuous stuff that this dickhead does. Anyway, he's now rerunning for this seat.
Mm-hmm.
And his major opponent is Count Binface.
Sounds like one of those micro parties.
It does, and he is. But the interesting thing about Count Binface is that I'm going to play you a little movie in a minute. It's a little meme. It goes for a little while, and I might fast forward through a little bit. But as we always say, links will be in the show notes if you want to see the whole meme. It's worth having a look at. It's quite fun. But what I wanted to say about it is that this guy is a comedian, and he decided to be not necessarily a joke candidate, but to show how farcical Farage is. And so in the polls at the moment, he's actually out-polling Farage.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously. And if the other
funny.
parties come to the party and give him all their preferences, there is a better than average chance that he will beat Farage.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It would
so
be
they have a
awesome.
preference systems like we have here?
Yeah, well, they seem to do it in state, in shire elections, or what are they, ever they call them? I can't remember what they call them. But I don't know if they do federally. I don't know if it's first past the post federally. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to have a look at that. You might have given me some homework, you bastard.
I think I have. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll put that on my homework chart. But anyway, this is Count Binface, and when you watch him, you'll get a little bit of a feel of what he's about and what his manifesto is, etc.
Attention, citizens of Clacton. Your democratic choices are across the stage in a
Nationalise
Adele.
Jolly looks like Bin.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's all I have to say about that.
I'm on Count Binface's side. I wish I could vote for him.
Oh, that's the thing. I can't because I'm not in Clacton on Sea. But I'm not. I thought I could vote in the British election, but I don't think I can actually. I think you have to be a resident. Yeah. Right. Do you know what? Do you know what's hilarious? When Ness was there, she was a Kiwi. She had an ancestry visa, but she was allowed to vote in the British election because she's a resident.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. She can't vote in her own election. And she couldn't vote in ours, but she'll be able to vote in the next one.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, well, here, yes.
Yeah.
Which could be late next year or early 2028.
I don't think it'll be late next year. I'd be very surprised. I'd push it out as far as you can go.
Yeah.
So, anyway, a little bit of that's a little bit of positive news, a little bit of lightness there. But also it's really important because it'd be great if Farage lost.
Do you know when the election is for that shire?
Not that. Okay. Stick that on my homework as well.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sticking with UK news, the Victorian Games, Games, we won a few years ago here. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. Back when
it was 22.
Sir Dan was in. Yeah, 22 sounds about right. And yeah, so Victoria won the Games, or the right to host it. They agreed to it, and they thought they were going to get it cheaply. Quickly blew out to, I think, from 2.3 billion to over 6 billion and growing at the time. And they decided, right, that's it. No, we're stepping away from this shit, and went back to Games officials and said, we don't want it anymore. They had to pay 380 million to give it back. The Glaswegians, bless their soul, took it upon themselves to host it again. They hosted it in 2014. So they grabbed it by the horns, and now they're hosting it. It actually starts tonight, our time, on day 0. Tomorrow is the official day. But they got paid, they were given $200 million from the 380 that Victoria paid to host it. But the downside to this coverage, or this Games, is that they've gone from about 20 sports down to 10.
Well, I'm not surprised because that's probably what Victoria would have had to do as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to remember that before it came to Victoria, it was in South Africa first.
Ah, right. So they won it, and they
won it, and then they rejected it, and then because it's just getting too expensive.
Yeah.
To run this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to know with the World Cup. I wonder if they made a profit in that. That might be something you want to look at, maybe.
Maybe with the hydration breaks they did with the advertisements.
Yeah. Did you watch any part of that World Cup and see the halftime
show?
end? Yeah, did you see that?
I did. It was okay.
In
typical
halftime
American
show, the World Cup. What the actual?
And that's the thing for all the purists in the world, which is about 98% of the population.
God,
just did not. They were just waiting for the game to start.
Were they
and
booing?
the hydration breaks is a joke.
Oh, it is. And do you know what? I think it's really, really unfair because it gives different teams really unfair advantages. Depending on.
And the game's been played with 45-minute halves forever and a day. So people train for it, and then you get quarters now. It's like, no. I'm glad that's over. Hopefully we'll never see it again.
Well, hopefully you're right. Hopefully.
So
anyway, back to what you were talking about.
Back to the Com Games. If you are interested in watching it, it is on the Channel 7 here in Australia.
Oh.
The sports that is included is the 3x3 basketball, as well as 3x3 wheelchair basketball.
Oh, I'll be watching that.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Entertaining, but brutal.
Yeah.
Artistic gymnastics.
They call it murder ball.
Yeah. I think we did cover that once a few years ago on Sports of All
we did.
Sorts.
Yeah, on Sports of All Sorts. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, artistic gymnastics, athletics, and para-athletics. So it's interesting how they're combining a bit of able-bodied and the
people with disabilities,
with disabilities.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to start doing that more and more, and I thought they were going to do that with the Olympic Games as well. They really should. I believe they should anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Also, lawn bowls and the para lawn bowls are in. Boxing's in, judo's in, netball is in, powerlifting and weightlifting for able-bodied and the para and
people with disabilities.
Yeah. Swimming and the para swimming, track cycling and para track cycling. So
okay, so that means there's no triathlon.
Correct. So I was about to get to that.
Pentathlon.
So the ones that were cut, cricket was cut, hockey gone.
I'm so
rugby
glad.
sevens.
I'm so glad cricket is gone.
So
not happy
England
about
because they would have lost that.
I'm not happy about hockey though. Not happy about hockey.
Yeah, I know.
Really pissed off about that.
Rugby sevens is out. Badminton
That's
out.
shit to do.
Table tennis.
All the bloody Commonwealth island nations would be so pissed off about the rugby not being on. In there.
Tell me about it. Exactly. Diving. That's one of my favourite aquatic sports at Com Games and the Olympics. I love watching diving.
Oh, surely you would have had enough of that at the World Cup.
especially the Argentinians.
Squash
is out, mountain biking out, beach volleyball out, wrestling out, rhythmic gymnastics out, triathlon, as you mentioned, out. Yeah. So it's a shame they had to cut half of the sports pretty much.
I'm not surprised though. They can't afford it. It's easy as that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. It's getting very expensive, but yeah, if you're interested, watch it on Channel 7. If not, wait till the Olympics whenever that's around in 2 years' time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what I want to have a chat on, and I'll be quick and I'll let you go again, is there's been, I'm not sure if you know, and I don't know if you do it, but there's been an uptake of people watching movies and series and whatever with subtitles.
Yes, I've noticed that.
For a while. And there was an article in the Atlantic, and I'll make sure that I can get the article into the show notes. It might be a little bit hard, but I'll try anyway. It explores basically the trends of people, especially millennials, because what they tend to do is they put TV on, and then the sound's coming out, and then what they might do is be on their phone and go blah, 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 and then have a look at the TV and just read it, and then go on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's going on. Blah, 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 on the phone. So that's what they're finding. But also the other thing is that they're saying that companies like HBO have adjusted their audio standards to prioritize loudness across entire shows rather than dialogue, making speech harder to hear.
What?
Netflix is one of the best when it comes to audio quality. Also, the other thing as well is the physicalness of the device you're on, i.e., the TVs and etc. that we listen to. A lot of them, they're not, because I mean, you hear them talk about how good the sound is, but more than anything, you always hear them talk about how good the visual is, how good the screen is, how big the screen is, how bendy the screen is, how realistic the screen is. But you don't normally hear them say, "Oh, and this sound is unbelievably clear."
Yeah, true.
And the reason for that is because there's not. And a lot of them are designing the speakers, etc. Or not the speakers, sorry, the TVs, etc. with the speakers maybe going down towards the ground or out on a certain angle, but nothing that's advantageous to the person actually fucking listening to what they're watching.
My other conspiracy theory with that is they do that on purpose so that they can sell you sound bars. That's
very,
why.
very nicely done, because those sound bars are actually really well constructed. And very well manufactured and are of high quality, and they're expensive.
Yeah.
So nicely done. And I would imagine, being a little bit conspiracy theorist myself on that side, that those different companies are in bed together, or at least having a chat. There's something happening there. So
Samsung sell great TVs, and they spruik their soundbars to go with their great TVs. So yeah,
funny that. But anyway, normalization, subtitles are now ubiquitous with surveys showing 58% of subscribers use them. That's huge.
Yeah.
And as I said before, 66% of millennials.
Wow.
And they do it out of habit. My daughter has to do it. I have to do it too, because my other half's got great ears and mine, as you know, are deaf. So, so I need to put the subtitles on. Because I'm always reading. But I tell you what, though, it's fantastic when you read subtitles all the time. As soon as you go and watch a international movie, you don't care.
No biggie. Yeah,
no, you're doing it all the time. So
same in this household. They kids definitely prefer it. Not all the time. Depends on what we're watching. I find it great for those times when in some scenes they're whispering, can't really hear, and it's like they're so soft. If you don't have the subtitles, you go, what the hell are they saying? Or it might be background noise in the scene, and they put the subtitles and you go, is that what those people are saying?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, sometimes they just mumble.
Great.
Yeah, they mumble so much, I've got no idea what they're saying. And then if a subtitle wasn't there, I wouldn't have had a clue. I will say one thing. Years ago, it was quite funny. I'd say probably 10 years ago, I remember we were watching, I think it was Foyle's War, which is an ABC series, and I think we were watching it slightly illegally because we couldn't find it anywhere on the stream. So we were, as I say, it was about 10, 15 years ago. And it was about 10, 15 years ago. And so some of the subtitles, my partner and myself, we were just, honestly, we were crying. We were absolutely crying. I don't know what the dude was saying, but the subtitle was coming up with, his prawn stick is not as big as his chafe and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, what the fuck are we watching? This is crazy. So it was just hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. So
that's funny.
But I'll tell you something else that, well, it's not funny, but it is interesting, which is what we talked about at the start of the show, was that Labor has a conference from today actually, started today, finishes, start today and finishes on Friday. And
goes for 3 days.
The 25th, is that a Saturday? Yes, nice work. So that's exactly right. It does go Saturday. I just wanted to have a quick chat. What's being proposed is that a number of unions and party members and economists have been pushing a 25% tax on gas exports.
Yes.
And as you know, they talked about it in the budget earlier in the year. And there was a lot of people that thought it might get passed then. But the government, in their infinite wisdom, basically had their balls shrink, and they just caved into the fuel lobbies, which is their wont to do because they get so much donations from them, as the Liberal Party do. But anyway, we need to stop this sort of crap. And Labor says it's going to ensure that Australian people will receive fairer return for their natural resources, including through appropriate taxation arrangements. Now, I've heard Albo talk about how well taxed these gas companies are multiple times, but he's been a little bit slippery with the truth every time because of the fact he's not talking about the PRRT. And that's what people are talking about here, which is the do you know what the PRRT stands for?
Petroleum something
resources rent tax.
That's it, resource rent tax,
Yeah. And it's all about a bonus tax on top of windfall massive profits, not your normal everyday revenue type thing. And these guys were making an absolute mozza, and still are through the war. But are you seeing it in your tax prices? I'm definitely not seeing it in mine. Apart from going up.
Exactly.
And that seems ridiculous considering we own the resource. You know, they only mine the resource. We actually own it.
Yeah.
So
it's on our land, belongs to the people, not to the few. Multinationals, of course.
Yes, exactly right. So the reports on the first day of the conference suggests there's been a showdown over the gas export tax, but there hasn't been any real formal fight on the floor yet, and there hasn't been any actual commitment to introduce a 25%.
Right. Okay.
There's no actual commitment yet, but there is a lot of conversation about it. Now, we already know about this. We've talked about it a bit. Obviously, there's punters politics. I've been talking about it for ages. And he, I'm pretty sure, got his first info from the Australia Institute, who have been talking about it for, I think, probably 3 years or something. David Pocock obviously had been talking about it for a long time, et cetera, et cetera. So all the supporters would say that other rich countries collect significantly more from their gas sectors than we do. And, you know, we're talking 2 billion as compared to 70-something billion a year or something. It's
even in the Middle East, they collect more taxes than they do here. So,
in Dubai, in a really fossil rich and a very fossil fuel, they're still taxing the bejesus out of the people that want to mine there. You know, for gas. So the opponents say, and we've heard these arguments before, it could discourage investment in new gas projects. Bollocks.
They're still going to make billions of dollars. It's
exactly
not going to discourage them.
And the gas is there. So if they don't get it, someone else will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a bullshit argument. It may affect Australia's reputation as a reliable energy supplier. That's bullshit too. And energy security and export relationships are currently a government priority. Well, it's obviously coming from the government. But what I do have here is I've got a couple of arguments for the gas export tax, and then I've got a couple against. And it's really, you know, you're going to find it, you're just going to be so surprised who's backing the arguments against. Anyway, Australia not getting their fair enough return is coming at 25%, could be estimated to raise 17 billion. Which, how much are they cutting out NDIS?
65 billion, wasn't it, over 3 or 4 years? So
so that 17 billion would almost just pay
cover
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's just,
and not give us anxiety for those families who need it and are relying on it. So exactly. And that's just the gas industry. Imagine if they taxed petroleum and every other mining company properly.
Yep. No, bang on. 100%. I'm with you all the way, Wencee, all the way. And again, we're getting it could discourage investment in gas projects, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, as you can probably imagine, the key supporters are the ACTU, our friend Will Strike. I actually, talking about Will Strike, I thought I'd just pump up the podcast for a little bit here. In the last, I think, 10-odd podcasts, our highest rating podcast is with Will Strike.
Nice.
So, she is very much a draw card. So we need to get her back on. Maybe in the SEO, when you put the pod out, you should be putting in Will Strike.
Will Strike for everyone, whether she's on it or not. Or we just mention her name every episode and then just put the SEO on it.
I think there's a last episode. I know we mentioned gun and Trump quite a few times, but I know we haven't released that pod yet, so I don't know how the SEO is going to go on that. So, but I would like to get that out there so we can find out. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, the Australia Institute obviously is supporting it, and Greg Jericho from the Australia Institute and Chief Economist at the Australia Institute. ALP delegates from the National Conference. Again, there's some ALP delegates that aren't for it. Mm-hmm. I was listening to Christopher Pine tonight with Bill Shorten on the 7:30 report with Sarah Ferguson. They have a good little chat together, which is quite good. Bill was talking about the gas, and he was saying he thinks it will happen. He said it's about time. It doesn't happen this time. He says it's going to happen soon because the push for it is more and more. So, but anyway, business investment obviously says there's a risk, and Australia's own the resource and should receive more of the profits, et cetera. So, as we know, LNG exporters such as Woodside, Santos, Chevron, and Shell are against it. Who would have thought?
Funny that.
Yeah, no, it really surprises me too. So,
just like the gambling industry would not want bans on ads, gambling ads.
No, bang
which
on.
I think they're going to talk about in this conference too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So
that's very good. So, with that, I think we're going to get going.
Yeah, we do.
The Australia Institute produces high-quality research that has real-world impact, whether it's revealing the $10.3 billion in fossil fuel subsidies provided by federal and state governments last year, or our long-standing research advocating for a federal anti-corruption commission with real teeth. We change minds. To donate, head on over to australiainstitute.org.au.
When you give blood, you're more than just a blood donor. You're the lifeblood of Australia. Search Give Blood and book your donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood today. Give life. Give blood.
You're listening to The New Blurt with Wencee and the Kegstar. Next up, do yourself a favour.
Okay, I'm going to be quick on this one because these are quick podcasts. Weirdly Helpful is an American podcast hosted by Zach Rosen. He co-hosts other podcasts, none that I'd listen to because it's all about young families and pregnant. One of them's called Pregnant Pause, and family-related stuff. But he was a reporter for NPR news agency some years ago.
Yes.
He's done public radio as a producer and reporter, like I said. Facilitates workshops, so he's used to talking and storytelling. Weirdly Helpful is it seems to me it comes from this community station that he's on, because he does during the podcast ask people to call in to the local number for any ideas of things that might be weirdly helpful. So he does tend to get ideas from the audience on the radio and then converts into a podcast. But basically it's about just little things that everyday things that we find helpful. Like one of them is, why do we say so much? So podcasts are only usually between 15 and 20 minutes. And in this one, for example, he has a guest by the name of Stephen D. Cohen, who's a professor and knows how to communicate with influence and things like that. And he goes into the reasons why we why we do ums and ahs and things like that. So he talks about things like their hesitation markers, the ums and ahs, and that gives us more time to think about what we're about to say. There's discourse markers where we say things like, I mean, well, so to fill in the gaps. But he also talks about things like these filler words aren't so good because it can lead to the listener thinking that you're, one, not coherent, not credible, things like that. So they just go into little things like that. There's another episode where they talk about giving your attention to things that are annoying you or frustrate you, and talk about sometimes we need to let that annoy us and we listen to that annoyance or that frustration. For example, when you're meditating and something comes to your mind and you can't kick it out. And so she says, all right, just let it sit there for a bit while you're meditating and then eventually it'll go away. So they're only short episodes. There's another one which I found funny was his family that lives in a different state. They go on fart walks after dinner.
Hold on,
they literally,
just want to. You did say fart walks.
I did say fart.
Okay.
I suspect we're about to hear one. Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay, I was waiting for the fart.
No,
I was waiting for you to lift up your body, but no.
No, I just wanted to confirm that is what you said.
It is what I said. So what this family does after dinner, they will go for a walk and they fart and they walk together as a family and they talk about stuff. While they're doing that, they're farting. So it gets it all out. Weird concept. It's weirdly helpful.
Yes.
But they have quite often talked things out that sometimes happen during the day or not during the day, things that have happened in the past, or they've settled grievances. Very, very interesting. Not all podcasts or not all episodes were appealing. Like I said, some of them were kid-related, how to make friends in playgrounds and things like that with other parents, which, we've got young adults as kids, so it doesn't really work for us. But, it's a good little podcast. There's many dozens of them. There we go. Finally let it out.
Tell me.
Better out
Tell me all your troubles. tell me everything you need, Wencee.
How many hours have we got?
Question about it. Look, that's really, really interesting. Again, I'm going to have to look at that one as well. But the interesting thing about that with did it give you any? I'm trying not to say Did it give you any impetus, or did it give you any ideas
on how to stop it? Yes. So some of the things you can do to avoid using the filler words are things like pause before you say something. All right. Also, record yourself and listen to yourself and pick up on what you've said. Ask a mentor or a friend to listen to you while you're talking and give you a suggestion. And the third one he suggested was go to Toastmasters, which we do have a chapter here in Australia.
What is Toastmasters?
Never heard of it?
No.
Toastmasters. So it's a public speaking group, and I looked it up here in Brisbane. There's one where they held 2 or 3 times a month at a local pub just down the road from us.
Okay.
And basically they have people who come in who are great speakers, and so they will get up and teach you in a public group. So you pay for the dinner and the learning, teaching, and they get you to do an impromptu 2-minute chat or a 5-minute chat of something, and then the peers will then listen and give you feedback. So it's a way of combating your fear of talking or how to improve your communication in a public space. It can also, there I'm doing it again, and again. And again. It's such a hard habit, isn't it, to get rid of?
It is if you get into the habit, but I like the idea of pausing. So when I can't think of what I'm about to say, I'll just go, okay, I'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So there's a discourse marker. So they will then get the feedback, and then once you become confident or competent in your mind, you can then become a speaker yourself. So Toastmasters is highly recommended for those who want to get into the industry or want to have increase their leadership skills, because it's quite important if you want to be a manager, for example, because quite often you've got to talk in front of people or convey your information in a confident way, I guess.
Yeah, it's very
Things like
true,
that.
actually. If you hear someone speak, and I find that most of the time, there you go. I find that most of the time, people, very smart people, they speak slower, but people that think they're very smart will speak quicker, and they will have more ums and ahs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there you go.
Now we're talking about we're going to be so self-conscious, aren't we?
I've been self-conscious for so long, my friend. I do everything I can not to, but it sometimes, it just creeps in. But if this pause thing is good, I think the pause thing's good.
Yeah. Look it up in your city, wherever you are in the world.
Toastmasters,
There's usually Toastmasters in every couple of city, most places.
Links in the show notes as always, people.
Correct. But yeah, Blurtstars for this one rating, I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh,
some of them are good.
Damn good. Yeah.
Some I just skipped it because it wasn't relevant.
Okay.
And
really
some of
helpful.
them are very American orientated, but it's still quite general that it's still entertaining.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I'm going to be very fast with this one as well. I'm going to give 2, actually. One is a revamp, which is Conversations with Richard Feidler and Sarah Konofsky on ABC Listen, or you can get it on any of your podcasts. The reason I'm revamping it is because just recently they've had a whole bunch of fantastic potties just go down that they've uploaded. And I want to let the Blurtstars know about it. So we talked about NAIDOC not that long ago on the show. They've got about 4 or 5 episodes all concentrating on NAIDOC in different parts of NAIDOC by different speakers of NAIDOC in different weeks. So that's really interesting. They also have a potty on Sam Neill. It was done in 2023, I think, or 2024.
Yeah, when he released his book, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely. I've read his book too, and if you haven't read his book, it's a great read, so highly recommend it. And the other one is that they just recently had one on Jacinda Ardern.
Oh wow, that'd be interesting to listen.
Because she's living in Sydney at the moment, and it's really interesting to get her state of mind at the moment, how she is, where she is, what she's doing, why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, that's my curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely, and why she hasn't gone back to New Zealand yet. Now, the other one I wanted to mention is called The Bugle. And The Bugle is a weekly satirical news podcast, and is hosted by Andy Saltzman, and it started with Andy Saltzman. Yeah, he's a bit of a quirky nutbag.
Yeah, he's very quirky. I love his hair.
Super fast, super quick, very quirky, very funny. And I refound The Bugle again a little while ago, and it just makes me laugh so much every time I listen to it. It is a bit elite isn't the word I'm looking for, but it's articulate comedy. It's really clever. Sometimes it may go over your head or whatever the situation, especially if you don't know the topic they're talking about, and sometimes they go into sort of philosophical comedy. Might even go back to the Greek times because they'll know what they're talking about to a certain extent, if you know what I mean. But not always. But it originally was co-hosted with John Oliver, none other than they
before he went to America.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're still good friends, I think. But they were really good mates for a long time. So they started it. Now we talked about, and we haven't really done this, so I am going to do this. I'm going to do it now. We had a 250th show last week. We did, and we forgot to mention. I thought I need to mention it. Absolutely, we didn't celebrate it at all. And I thought we need to just say a couple of things because for the people who are stuck with us, thank you very much. Potties are going up. I can see people listening and enjoying, which is fun. We know we're not getting them out fast enough. We apologise for that. we are definitely working to get them out a little bit more on the weekly side. But both Wencee and I have full-time jobs, and as much as we love doing this, it's just hard to get to it at times. But we are doing everything we possibly can to do that, and we will keep doing this until we get bored, which I think will be a long time. But what I wanted to say was, obviously, thank you, Wencee, so much for being on the podcast and being such a major part of the podcast since I think season 2 or
I think it was season 2 I started.
Yeah, and it's only got better since then. We've had great guests, etc., etc. So I just want to mention that. And the other thing is that we are in an elite group of podcasters in that there's only about, I think it's 22 or 25% of all podcasts ever made get to 250 episodes. Yeah, so yay us.
Go us.
Go us. And saying that, this episode that you're going to hear like a whole minute of is episode 4,386.
Is that what we're going to get up to, do you think?
Well, maybe.
We'll be in our Zimmer frames.
Still ranting, still learning.
Shakes fist at cloud.
Yeah. Exactly. 100% right. So anyway, it's a satirical look on the US. This particular podcast, satirical look on the US. Cyclosis outbreak. Discussion of Pete Hegseth's proposed testosterone deficiency. And commentary on the UK reaching its 7th Prime Minister in 10 years and Andy Burnham entering Downing Street. Now, we haven't even had a chance to talk about Andy Burnham, and that's a really, really big story, but we're not going to talk about any more of that because we've got another segment to get through. Yeah. But I will just play this 1 minute and then we'll crack on.
Newspaper for a visual world. Hello, Buglers, and welcome to issue 4,382.
As you can tell, they need to work on their sound.
We're guilty of that sometimes.
Of the Bugle audio newspaper for a visual world. I'm Andy Zaltzman. It's the 9th of June, 2026. The world is still turning as we record. Actually, let me just check online. Well, there's no confirmation either way as to whether or not the world is turning. Anyway, fingers crossed. If you're listening to this, you won't be able to see me staring down the barrel of a camera and thinking how much podcasting has changed. And in this new era of, I remember when it was all fields, I'm joined by Sarah Barron, and for the first time in nearly 2 years, welcome back, Chris Addison. Hello to both of you.
Hello, Andy. Lovely to be back with you at last. I haven't been able to do the Bugle for a couple of years, largely because I've been hosting its sister podcast, The Bruegel, the satirical podcast about 16th century Dutch peasant scenes. Sections going to block up the dike this week include Cone or Smurf, How Pointy Is Your Hat? What Wagon, including a review of the new sporty 5-spoke cartwheel from Donkervoort, and a column by Jeremy Clarkson calling for people to protest the new 3-mile-an-hour limit on intervillage mud tracks, and the lifestyle section including an interview with Holland's oldest man who tells us the secrets of living to 36.
So that just gives you a little snippet of the Bugle, and I got to tell you, Alice Fraser is on it. And she's fantastic. Nish Kumar is on it. He's fantastic. Every time I listen to it, I just laugh. Sometimes I just smash out 2 or 3 in a row. It does go for about 40-odd minutes. But if you're doing something, I don't know, whether you're cleaning or whatever it is, and you just whack that in, you're just laughing the whole time. It's just, and you even learn some stuff as well because, as I say, it's pretty intelligent comedy. So most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. So
I've just started following it. So it is now going to alert me when we get new ones.
Very nice.
I'm going to start listening to it.
Beautiful.
And
with
rating?
That, yes. Rating. Yes, absolutely. Probably 4.2, I reckon.
Nice.
Yeah, it's well worth having a bit of a listen to that one, I think. It's very, very good. Now, let's crack on.
Hi, it's Ashley Fiesemate here, and you're listening to the new Blurt with Wencee and Kexter.
It's absolutely is a party in the USA. But do you want to go first on? Actually, I'll go first because I'll let you finish with Zoran Mandani, because he's such a interesting cat. All right, cool. So I wanted to talk about Mary Patola, who is a Democrat from Alaska who served as the state's at-large member of the U.S. House of Representatives. There's a couple of reasons I wanted to talk about her. And also, when we've done Party in the USA before, in the old days, there was a lot of, shit news, and we were like, we don't want to do this anymore because every time we talk about it, it's just bringing us down.
Depressing. Yeah.
That's right. Well, so this is a little bit of a better story and an interesting story, hence the Zoran Mandani stuff as well. So representatives from 22 to 25. Before Congress, she served in the Alaska House of Representatives as a tribal judge because she's a native Alaskan.
Alaskan.
And she made history in 22 by being the first native elected to Congress. She's actually got quite a few firsts. She's got the first Alaskan native elected. She's got the first woman elected to represent Alaska in the U.S. House, and the first Democrat to win Alaska's House seat in roughly 50 years.
So Alaska's been dominated by the Republicans for 50 years.
Yes, that is true.
Wow.
Yes, it's a very, very, very conservative state. Yeah,
Jeez.
Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah, they love their hunting and fishing and their oil. Yeah, which is crazy when you think about it, because you think about Alaska and you think about the wonderful, incredible forests areas and the whole biodiversity of Alaska and the wilderness and blah blah blah. And you want to save all of that. And it's interesting. And she's a little bit conflicting as well because she's a native Alaskan and she's an Alaskan. So I'll explain that through here. So she's had a long involvement in fisheries and subsistence issues and rural Alaska policy. But as you can imagine, because she is a native Alaskan, she does care about the land.
Yeah, good.
From an indigenous point of view. But she also cares about the land from an exploitation point of view as well.
Yeah.
So, we've got a little bit of a conflict of sort of interest here. So she's often combined traditionally Democratic positions, this is what I was talking about, with support for industries like commercial fishing, resource development, energy production, rural infrastructure. And this is why it's a bit weird. So, and Alaskan native forests. So it doesn't
of deforestation of it. She's in favour.
Oh, I don't believe so, but we'll get to that in a second. She first won her office in 2022, following a long time Congressman Don Young, and during her time in Congress, her policies were exactly what I just talked about, but also they were public lands and Native American and Alaskan Native issues. But as I say, it's all a bit conflicty. I'll get to that a little bit more in a second. But she lost her re-election bid, as I said at the start of the show, to Republican Nick Bedgick III. Can you believe that's a name?
It is.
In 2024, when the orange turd came in.
Right.
Yeah. But she's, as I said before, she's running again against a Republican Senator Dan Sullivan. Now, the interesting thing about that, and I won't go on about this for too long, but Dan Sullivan, there was another Dan Sullivan running in the race. And what they found out was that Dan Sullivan, and he was a Republican, but that Dan Sullivan was like a fake Democrat Republican Dan Sullivan.
Oh, right.
So the idea was to split the votes so that she would be able to just coast through. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's gone to court and blah blah blah, and there's a little bit in that, but I'm not going to go any more on that. But it's sneaky, definitely sneaky, no doubt about it. But why not? The sort of games that Republicans play, oh my God, they got to do everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's talking about cost of living, Alaska's fisheries, independence from national party politics, and you're going to love this. And she's a Democrat. Alaska First themes.
Sounds like Australia First.
Well, she's She's an interesting cat. She really is an interesting cat. So she supports climate action, right? And oil gas development. So
Can you have both? I don't know.
I don't know either. Socially liberal, but economically more moderate than many national Democrats. She promotes independence from Washington politics, but then she runs as a Democrat and she caucuses with a Democrat all the time. You know. But look, the simple takeaway is this. She's a progressive Democrat, but a traditional Alaskan sort of Republican. You know,
I sort of get that because Alaska's probably a unique state in that
it is very unique.
It's very far away from Washington. It's a lot of natural resources are there and not much development. And so all the industries and jobs are all centered around these things that city folk would be against. So I understand why the Republicans have probably won it for the last 50 years and how she was there for only one term.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I wonder if the Alaskans feel American or do they feel Alaskan? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they probably feel like they're just Inuits. Is that what they're called?
Inuits would be the actually you've given yourself some homework there.
I don't want to upset them, so
no, so you better find out.
Yeah.
But this is what I was talking about. She tries to occupy the middle ground, pro-environment, pro-fishing, pro-development, pro-rural Alaska. You know, she's trying to be everything to all men and women, and that's not easy. So
no.
But anyway, I've got the source as to what we've been talking about, and as I say, links will be in the show notes. But I just thought I would mention Mary Patola because she's an interesting cat, and the thing that's particularly important about that is that she's going for a Senate seat. And at the moment, I think they are on 53-47. So they need to win 4 seats and keep the seats they've got to be the majority in the Senate.
Is that for the midterms in a few months'
Yes, that's
time?
for the midterms, because it's up for the Senate and the Congress.
Yeah.
And they never thought that it would happen because the polls are so low for the orange turd. They think there is a really good chance he could lose the Senate as well. So they've basically, it's interesting. They've sort of done as a lay down misere that he will lose the Congress, but now they're pretty sure he'll lose the Senate as well. But that's not guaranteed. But that's why she's so important. She's really, really important. So anyway, I thought I'd just bring that up, and that's me done.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's good to know politics of a different state that's not your popular states. So yeah, interesting. Thank you. Speaking of popular states and cities, Zoran Mamdani, we followed his rise to, is it mayorship?
It is.
Is that the word?
Mayorship.
Mayorship.
Yep.
Last year when he won the election, and he's been a mayor for now just over 7 months. So what has he done? He's secured funding for universal childcare, although I still don't know if that's quite approved yet. But he's definitely campaigning for what they call the 2K and 3K childcare. So 2K is for 2-year-olds and 3K is 3-year-olds, where it provides free childcare for those toddlers at that age group. So the idea is that to have parents working, I guess, and getting them more productive. He's added extra daycare seats in the low-income neighborhoods, and you would never have thought that there'd be low-income neighborhoods in New York, because I know there were a long time ago, but it's been heavily gentrified over the last 20, 30, 40 years.
Have you ever been to New York?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Never.
So with New York, it has pockets like a lot of other sort of places. So you've got the upper West End or something like that on Manhattan Island, and then down the other side is sort of the poorer areas, and there's an area called Hell's Kitchen, I think it is.
Okay.
And I think that is on Manhattan Island, I believe.
Right. I thought that was just Gordon Ramsay's TV show.
Yeah. No. Well, that's where he got the name from. Right. So they've got a lot of, and he was. So apropos, I was listening to a podcast today with John Stewart, and he was talking directly to Zoran Mandani. So we'll put that podcast link in the show notes as well. It's absolutely fantastic. He was talking about what you're talking about.
Childcare in low income neighbourhoods. Bronx is one of them as well, isn't it?
They're not 60. This is something I found out the other day too. They're 66th most livable city in the world.
Yeah.
So I'd say they've gone down, low. Not up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And just so you know, Brisbane's 22.
I'm surprised we're that high, considering the price of bloody property here. So damn expensive. Go live in Melbourne and Sydney, people. It's cheaper. Seriously.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
Not joking.
That
I know.
Who
would have thought? Wasn't like that when we moved up here 10, 12 years ago.
No.
The other wins he's had so far, he's fixed about 100,000 potholes. Would you believe?
Wow.
In the 6 months. He's won money for worker and small business restitution and for tenants. Pushed housing and landlord accountability measures, including task forces on development barriers and hearings for tenant complaints. So obviously making things easier for renters and tenants, so it's not skewed towards the landlords as much. He still has many critics based on the promises that he had during his campaign, especially on the bigger issues like the rent policy. He hasn't been that successful in getting that through yet.
He's been in for 6 fucking months. What do they want?
Yeah,
I mean,
can't fix everything. And I think in that podcast that you're talking about with John Stewart, he does talk about this. He's trying to focus on quick fixes, but he's also trying to set out plans that will work in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So he's looking ahead and not just the yearly cycle like most politicians do these days. So
he's not. No, he's not looking to feather his own nest. He's looking to do the best for his his constituents.
Yeah. So by all accounts, he's doing a lot of good. That's and like you said, it's only been 6-7 months, so you can't fix everything in a short amount of time. But yeah, that chat with John Stewart is quite entertaining. He's quick thinking.
He's very bright.
Yeah.
Very bright.
Definitely recommend that podcast or that episode of John Stewart to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there is a website to track all the things they've done. There's a website that tracks every day. Every day they've achieved something, they whack it up on the webpage. So
fantastic. Okay, obviously we'll have that in the show notes. So.
Yeah, we'll have that on the show notes. So very interesting. Glad to see him in there. He is trying to make it more affordable because it used to be a good mix of the well-off and the lower class, and they all worked well together. But now it's just getting too expensive to live in. So I think he's going to achieve things as long as he gets support from the locals and the governor as well. So even though I think she's Republican, but
she's
like a lot of things,
been good so far, I think.
Yeah, I think she's been helping quite a bit.
It's in her interest as well. I mean, if he's doing something that's going to, benefit the constituents, I mean, more fool her not to do it.
Exactly.
I know one of the things he's doing is the second house. If your second house is over $5 million, I think that's getting a certain tax treatment.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
a lot of those things I don't think he's passed just yet because there is resistance.
Of course, there's resistance,
as you'd expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we should follow it up in 6 months, see how he's done.
Well, I think so. I don't know what their elections are for mayorship. I don't know if it's like every 2 years or every 4 years.
I'm feeling it's every 4 years. I think we've just given ourselves homework.
Yeah, probably.
Because he went in on the 1st of January this year.
Right.
Yeah. Something in the back of my mind says every 4
years. Yeah, it seems to be every 4 years with their stuff over there.
Yeah.
Which I actually think is a good idea. I hate the idea of that, like how we have elections here. Oh, we might go early, we might go late. I think you should just have a date and just go on that date.
Yeah, and fix 4 years, I reckon. 4 years is a good time.
Absolutely. I don't, there's not many things I agree with American politics. I definitely agree with that. You start one day, you finish the next, and you know when that, and so does everyone else. So
we've got that with the Premier here, with the state elections. It's every 4 years fixed.
Yeah, well, I think that might be true here too.
Yeah, I think so.
It might be a state thing. Yeah, I don't know why they do that federally. Anyway, that's weird. That is your show, people. Thank you so much for bringing that, Wencee. Really, really interesting. As always, we'll have the links in the show notes to what Wencee was just talking about then regarding that tracker on Zoran Mondani, because that will be extremely interesting. Obviously, we talked about the Commonwealth Games tonight. We'll have the links in the show notes to that as well. When are they starting again, Wencee?
The what do you call it? Opening ceremony has already started, I believe. Or
it's already been. Okay.
Yeah. It started this evening, our time.
Okay.
But sports, I think, starts tomorrow.
Okay.
No problem. I quickly read
Brilliant. Fantastic. All right. Well, that is your show, people. So we had a chat about a few things tonight. Go and find out who Count Binface is. Go and see if you can find some more memes. He's a very funny character. As we said, it'd be very good if Nigel Farage loses to a bin. That'd be amazing.
The only thing I didn't like about that song / video clip was the AI generation.
I know.
The only thing I didn't like about it.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But it was not weirdly helpful, unlike your podcast that absolutely was. That is very, very good.
Very
and in the Do Yourself a Favour conversations and the Bugle, have a look for those as well. That's enough for me. I'm out of here. Where can they find us, Wencee?
On YouTube, The New Blurt, Facebook, Blurtstar, Instagram, Blurtstar, Threads, Blurtstar, Spoutable, The New Blurt, and Blue Sky is thenewblurt.bsky.social.
Beautiful. Until we see you again, or you listen to us again, have a good time, enjoy, be kind to people. I'll see you next time.
And we'll see you next week.
The New Blurt is brought to you by Wencee and Kickstar, usually on a Tuesday evening. You can catch us on all the socials, as they say, the Blurt YouTube channel. We have a Twitter Blurt handle, and there is a Blurtstar Facebook page as well. So, if you're interested in getting in touch, it's blurtstar@gmail.com. And we will get back to you as soon as we can if you've got any questions. Until next week, there'll be another feed coming at you.
Has been a Get Off the Glass production. Brought to you by Wencee and Kickstar.